Next up, guys, we're going to go on to main topic number 3. And our third main topic today gets sent in to us by Ki-seon, who writes, "Hey, John, the first trailer for James Wan's Malignant has dropped. I thought some of the CGI looked a little wonky, but overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the trailer, and I'm super excited to see James Wan return to the horror genre. What did you think?" Yeah, so James Wan is back. He's back, and yesterday, it was around the same time that a couple of other trailers dropped, so it kind of got lost in the wash with us, but a Malignant trailer dropped. Obviously, a lot of people have been very excited to see James Wan return to the horror genre. A lot of us have been excited to see what this is going to look and feel like, so went ahead and took a look at it. Now, for those of you who don't know much about it, this comes to us from the folks over at Joe Blow, who write, "In Malignant, Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities." Written by Akela Cooper from A Story by Cooper, Wan, and Ingrid Bisu. The film stars Annabelle Wallace. I love her. She was in our studio a couple times. She's great. Maddie Hansen, George Young, Nicole, Brianna White, Jacqueline McKenzie, Jake Abel, and Ingrid Bisu. That, of course, comes to us from her friends over at Joe Blow. So the new trailer drops for it yesterday. And I'll tell you what, I didn't love the trailer. Now, look, when I say that, understand that I trust James Wan completely. James Wan didn't make the trailer. All right? So I'm whatever. But, you know, the job of a trailer, we talk on the show all the time, is to take your excitement level, no matter how high or how low it is, for a movie, and then bump it up a couple of notches. I've been kind of looking forward to this, but the trailer to me didn't do it any favors. You're right. Some of the CGI looked a little bit wonky. It seemed more conceptual than hands-on as far as a trailer, though. I didn't really walk away from the trailer thinking, I got to watch this movie, even though I'm fully planning on watching this movie, again, because it's James Wan, so I'm trusting the movie's going to be pretty damn good. But as far as just talking about the trailer, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. The trailer didn't really do it for me. Anyway, I don't know, and I can't really put my finger on exactly why that is. I just know I just walked away from it going, the trailer was okay. Again, that doesn't mean I don't think the movie's going to be great. I just didn't think the trailer's all that great. Rob, you had a chance to see this Malignant trailer. What did you make of it?
Well, at first, I mean, I thought it was going to be like some body horror film because it was called Malignant. I'm thinking tumor. But after watching the trailer, I'm a big fan of 70s giallo movies from Italy, like what Argento was doing, and whether it was his Animal trilogy or stuff like Tenebrae. Well, that's early 80s. And this looked like to be, somebody said it was like Drop Dead Fred, but for horror. And I'm like, no. This looks like some giallo film, and I'm like into it. That's what James Wan was saying on Facebook, that's what he wanted to make. He said, this is my version of what you'd find in the back of a video store, some weird Italian movie you'd never heard of, but you rented it anyway, and it was a discovery. So when I saw the trailer, I'm like, look, to me, James Wan is the maestro of the jump scare. If you watch Insidious, you watch Conjuring, and you go back to even Saw, he really knows how to orchestrate a jump scare. And this movie looks like it's really playing to his strengths. I love the idea that, you know, he could have, I made $1 billion superhero movie. He could have cashed in and made another $1 billion movie. I mean, he's doing that with Aquaman too. But the fact that he went back and went back to his roots, I really admire that, because it shows that, look, you can chase the bucks all you want, but he's a true consummate filmmaker. And that's why when he went back and did the Insidious franchise, he made, I think, Insidious 1 for less than $1 million. And I just love the fact that he's going back to his roots, or going back to something he loved as a kid, renting crazy Italian movies in a video store, and he's made this film. And I think, by the way, Malignant is one of the great titles of a horror film of the last 10 years.
It's a great title. It's a great title.
I'm in, man. I am in. Between that and the Neil Blomkamp trailer that dropped today for Demonic, I'm like, this is a horror double feature. And this weekend, Shyamalan's The Sham Hammer's Old. I think we're going through a really cool era of horror, and I'm all for it.
Now, I haven't seen Old yet, but I got to say, it's been a long time since a lot of us have been able to say, man, I'm really looking forward to that M. Night movie. But I know,
I am.
By the way, our friend Cass Graphics dropped in like a $20 super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you, Cass. Appreciate that,
He's
dude,
the
very
man.
much, man.
He is the man.
Greg, This trailer for Malignant has come out. This is a movie that has been flying under the radar. Not a lot of people have been paying a lot of attention to it, but you had a chance to check this out. What did you make of the trailer?
I know that when I first watched this trailer, because of my love for James Wan cinema, I had my rose-colored James Wan glasses on when I was watching it. I'm like, I just love it because it's James Wan. I know where my mind was going. But I did do a trailer review of it yesterday, and I did say that I felt something was a little off about the trailer, and I think I might know what it is that you might have been feeling with it. And that's actually with both of the points that you guys were making, is that this film is very, like James Wan said it himself in an interview with IGN, that it's very Argento inspired, very Brian De Palma inspired. And when I was watching the trailer, and I said it in my review yesterday, that it seemed like they're trying to make a trailer for Malignant to remind you of James Wan's earlier films like The Conjuring, films like The Insidious. Let's chop it together to make you think of those films because those films made money, and that's what people know James Wan's audience is for. But I was really getting the vibe that this movie is going to have a lot more of a deliberate pace to it, much more of a haunting, ethereal nature to it. I feel like it's going to be a lot more dread focused and more psychological thriller angle with this perhaps monster backdrop to it that is very symbolic for the mental health of this character. And I think actually James Wan said it himself in the IGN interview that people will there might be a camp of this audience that will be disappointed with the film because it's unlike anything James Wan has done before, that he's very much aware of. He's known for being a good jump scare guy. He's known for being the haunted house demonic entity type of filmmaker, but he really wants to do something incredibly different. If there's one thing I got from that article that I could pull from memory, is that he was extremely insistent that this is going to be wildly different than anything he's done before. And I think that's probably the issue that happened with the trailer, was that they're trying to market it to look like, to have the kind of horror tone and flourishes that are not exactly what the movie's going to be like. I don't think they're capturing what the actual tone and pacing of the film will ultimately be. So I think that might be what some of the disconnect is that's sort of happening with how you yourself were describing when watching the trailer, how it didn't quite click with you. And I think the studio is perhaps a little bit shy of really showcasing what it's like. Because, Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright's new movie, it's funny that is another horror film, which is also very Argento inspired.
Yep.
Yeah, you could tell that from the trailer, so you could totally see that.
Exactly. That's my point. They didn't shy away from letting you see that this is very Argento inspired, where I think the Malignant, with WB, because of the prior work they've done with James Wan and horror before, I think they're trying to specifically craft their trailer to make it look a little bit more like those films, when I don't think it's actually going to be that way. So with that, I'm excited for it.
You're kind of saying that the package says Oreos, but inside are chocolate chip cookies.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I think a lot of people are going, what's Argento?
Right. Yeah.
I think more people know than you think. By the way, our friend Peter Pacheco sends in a super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you, Peter. Listen, guys, question is for you. The Malignant trailer dropped. What did you guys think about it? Did it increase your excitement for seeing it? Maybe you'd never even heard of the film before. Did it not do much for you? Whatever you guys are thinking about it, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.